Hey, what's going on, guys, gals, aliens, and degen freaks? Welcome back to the channel. I wasn't starting in 15 minutes. Sorry, my my countdown started looping back to start it in 15 minutes, but we're starting right now. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. And first, we want you to hit the like button coming in, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and ding the bell. And how you do that is you go here. There's a bell somewhere. You'll see it. It's a little bell. You want to ding it, and you click all. So then whenever I go live, whenever I post a video, you will get notified immediately, and you can hang out with the Dano Dojo crew. So what's going on, everyone? I hope everyone is doing well on this Taco Tuesday here, and we're gonna get into basically how we should just keep it simple. We really want to keep it simple to the point where you just don't want to overcomplicate things. And I think it's so easy to do this, you know, during these times, during these runs, and especially during the bull market and the bull runs, because there's so many distractions. There's so many things that can pull us off our plan and make us have less conviction. Just all this stuff. And really, we don't have to overcomplicate it. We really can keep it simple. We can keep it simple. So we're going to go into how we can keep it simple and what strategies or, things that we can do to just keep it simple. There's so much, there's data out there. There's like all this stuff, all these numbers, all these things. But really, it could be as simple as the government prints money. The government prints money. And they want to get a pretty damn good return on that printed cash. And historically now, we've seen that's Bitcoin. It's cryptocurrencies. We've seen that gold has been that store of value where it can protect you against the inflation of the dollar and fiat currency. But it can be just as simple as the governments around the world, and fiat currency is going to be debased and it gets printed. And where else can it go to then get a return that's more than the percentage of the debasement of the currency? Well, that percentage of the debasement of currency is been beaten with Bitcoin. And by dollar cost averaging and just getting skin in the game over time, I think Bitcoin might end up being the money. Bitcoin might end up actually being the money where we actually start transacting in Bitcoin because someone wants 0.4 Bitcoin for this, or they want point whatever this for this, or a car, real estate transactions. There was recently a Bitcoin real estate transaction where the whole deal was settled in Bitcoin. I think this was in Miami. So this is getting more into the conversations of how blockchain and Bitcoin and real estate is going to start merging together. And so it's just, we really don't have to overcomplicate it, guys. I mean, we love our altcoins. We love Bitcoin. We're going to accumulate these things over time, but really it could just be as simple as like, man, just have exposure into Bitcoin. So this is what we're going to get into today. Make sure you hit the like button. We have one like so far. So let's get the likes up. Let's get those up. Let's get more people in here. Like I said, guys, I've really been trying to encourage everyone to just hit the like button. It's literally free. It's the way that you can show me and YouTube that you actually like the channel and that I don't annoy you. But if I annoy you, then go to another channel and don't hit the like button. But if I don't, then please hit the like button. I would appreciate it. It'd be amazing. All right, so let's get into the Bitcoin price here. So we had this little channel here. We were trading in this upward channel, and we broke down on a scam wick here. You can see we got kind of scam wicked here. We had we had Trump announce the China tariff deal, which was a 90-day deal of lowering the tariffs from 125%, or was it 140%, to 30%. And then China lowered their tariff percentage as well on the United States. So it was a mutual deal where for just this 90 days, we get this deal playing out. All right, so Chris SF says, hello, when do you think we should sell and take profits? So I can't tell you when to sell and I can't tell you when to take profits because I'm not a financial advisor. But I have my own particular targets that I think are fairly sound, and I'm kind of going off the previous cycles. I'm going off of previous data on Bitcoin. So the best way that I can look at when maybe it could be, good times to take profits and start to, kind of hedge into maybe a little bit of stables or something like that is, I don't know. I mean, we're halfway. I don't even think we're halfway through this bull run. The movements that we had in the past 2 years, I think has been big, like institutional buying. So that's what's pushed us into the territories that we're in now. And then also we have, nation states buying. We got Michael Saylor strategy, just crushing it, always buying Bitcoin, DCAing like crazy and leveraging it up. But you can see here from the previous cycles, like from the bottom here, this is 2017 run up into December 2017, where we had that run, and then also here you got the 2020 run, and each of these runs was 350%. This one was 400%, 450%. And so if we just kind of go from the bottom here and go up from this point, it's only been like 85% of this particular cycle from this point here. So, and I'm going off of, the post halving year, because the halving year was 2024. So then you go to start from, I mean, we can even maybe even start this in 2025, because 2025, if you go by the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin, remember guys, we want to keep it simple. We don't want to overcomplicate it. We really don't want to overcomplicate it. And this is how you can keep it simple, is from this point here in 2025, we've only went up 42% from the bottom. So if we've done historically the moves in these previous bull run cycles after the halving, at least an average of 300%, then we're not even close to where we should be taking profits. It's like, this is still accumulation mode. So this is why I think on average from this point here, we'll just go from the bottom, that if we get our average 300% move, then we're going into a $230,000, $220,000 Bitcoin going into August and September. The reason why I think it's going to be around that price, or at least 150 by this time, is because on average, the Bitcoin halving and post-halving year, in the bull run, we have an average of 500 days where we see a peak price. It's happened in 2012. It happened in 2017. It happened in 2020. And now we can see it happening post-halving year in 2025. And so if we just go by that average alone from the halving, so here's the halving date, was around the 22nd or 23rd of last year, April, and we go out 500 days. So we go out 500 days, that brings us into September. So this is where I want to keep it super, super simple and just not overcomplicate it. This is how you can kind of like sift through the noise, sift through all the noise, and know, especially on the weekly chart. The weekly chart is also a really great way that you can keep it simple and look more macro on your scale of where the market's at. The weekly chart really helps, especially with the altcoins. Like you look at the altcoins on a weekly chart, and it really helps to see where they've bounced off of momentum. Maybe, they've gotten close to, we'll show you the, a 200-day moving average or something like that. Let's see. Let's go here. And if they're trading up close to hitting their 200-day moving average, or they're under the 200-day moving average, then we're in accumulation mode still. Like if you think about where we've crossed over the 200-day moving average, we see big runs. Like look, 914%. This is just Radium, for instance. This is Radium is the DEX liquidity provider for Solana for a lot of the high liquidity tokens. And so when we go into this other cross where we crossed over the 200-day moving average and we peaked up, we went up 398%. So the moment that we cross this 200-day moving average for most altcoins, the potential here is that we go up another 200, 300%, which means that something like Radium could go into the $14 territory, which is exactly where it kind of was, where it was previously in the run in altcoin season in 2021. And you can do this with, and then look, okay, perfect example, SUI. SUI going over its 200-day moving average, pumped. Look, every time it did it and it crossed below, we went and hit we're in this regression channel here. It's like a perfect regression channel too. If you're looking at it in a regression trend, you can kind of pop it from here and then you can see it's, that doesn't look right. It's definitely more if you just draw the trend lines from the bottom and then the top, you can kind of see how this is playing out. Okay, so 200-day moving average. You got this line right there. I should make it more visible. Hold on just a second. Okay, 200-day moving average. Let's go to the settings and let's make the line a little bit thicker. There we go. Maybe, I don't know, we make it like pink or something. I don't know. It's a color that we can see. I don't want to do red. Maybe purple. There we go. We'll do purple. All right. So you see that purple line? We're over it now. And when we've crossed it, we've done a 300%. So it's interesting how when these altcoins, they pass that 200-day moving average, you start to get some action. So I'm thinking we do that same thing, and we're going to be seeing a $9, $10 SUI here coming up in the next, 30, 60, 90 days or so. So, and what's interesting is it all kind of lines up with this 90-day extension and deal with China, which eventually, once we start to get towards the end of the 90 days, it's going to be like, oh, are they going to raise the tariffs again? But I think what this 90-day period is going to do for us is going to establish a more kind of a better blueprint and framework for how we are doing our, international trade, and it's going to encourage other countries, because of the fact of the deal that's been made with China, which was projected to not go through, or that China was gonna be hawkish, super hawkish, but it seems like both countries are being cooperative with each other. They want to make sure that the incentives are good. So I think this 90-day period is going to give us some opportunities to kind of let this market grow a little bit more. And so SUI is one of those contenders of altcoins, along with Solana, Cardano, XRP. You're starting to see a lot of the top 10 cryptos get some attention, and SUI is one of them. Reason why SUI is getting a lot of attention is because they're doing really well. They're getting a lot of institutional adoption. They're minting stable coins on the chain. They're heavily involved with the gaming ecosystem. They have their own gaming device that's like a Steam Deck. So across the board, I don't see how you couldn't be bullish on SUI, especially when you look at the weekly chart. So it's kind of like one of those things where you're like, is it going to cool off a little bit? And it's like, I don't know. I don't see it cooling off very much. I see it kind of still ramping up. And the whole question that I think is being asked here is will SUI outperform Solana in this bull run? I think a good way to go about it is like, hey, I mean, if you have exposure to both, then how can you lose? You know, you think Solana, we've called for at least, conservative case, $800 to $900 per Solana for this run, which would make it a 450% move to the upside from its bottom right now. So if that's the case, 450%, and we see SUI start to crush up to that level here. We have 145% move to $10. Okay, 156% move to $10. Right there, I can see it getting a little bit higher, but I mean, who knows? I mean, it's price discovery at that point. It's just kind of, who knows how much it's going to keep going. Could it get to $20? Could it keep trading up this channel, hit resistance, reaccumulation, redistribution of the chart, and then start to kind of crush up? Possibly. But in the short term here, I think Solana, when you look at Solana, comparing it to SUI, let's look at it real quick. And thank you guys for being here. Also, we got Cardano, man. We got OG, is that Boba? OG Boba. Thanks for coming in. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in and share the stream too. It really helps. OG said, is Simon's Cat something to bet on? Okay, so we are familiar with Simon's Cat. Simon's Cat originally was just a drawing, and it already had a community behind it. But then Simon's Cat actually ended up, I think there's an NFT project as well, and then also the token is on Binance Smart Chain, and whenever it got listed on Binance, it really started to pick up. So it is in that cat. It's in the cat meme category because we got Popcat, we have there's Catcoin that's also on Binance Smart Chain there, and then we have Simon's Cat. What other cats do we got up in the meme space? Off the top of my head, I'm having a hard time. It's easier to think of the dogs, but we have cats, dogs, and frogs. The cats, dogs, and frogs memes are what usually trades pretty well. We love our cats, dogs, and frogs in crypto. And let me know what you're drinking too. I'm drinking black coffee, no milk, no sugar, but I am drinking. I have some honey in here. Nice. And excuse me. Hold on, Cardano, you skipped my question. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Cardano, man. Is $9 ADA feasible? I know you threw me off my Solana, but because I have ADHD, so if I read questions and I'm also trying to do this, I'm gonna get distracted, but it's okay. I just want to make sure I'm keeping up with the chat here. So yeah, okay, Cardano, man, can it get to $9? We'll get to that because that was what people were calling Cardano to go to $9 last cycle, and everyone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hold it till $5," or it was $5. It was like, okay, Cardano's gonna go to $5 and $10, and then a lot of people ended up round tripping the bag when it hit its all-time high at $3, and then round tripped it all the way back down because they married the coin. They married Cardano. They were like, it is going to do, and I have to have diamond hands. And then we went into a 2-year bear market where Cardano got completely smashed. So we'll have to see. But there are some catalysts that I think could send Cardano to those levels. It's called Bitcoin. Cardano, if you guys remember, did a transaction with Bitcoin, sent Bitcoin on chain to Cardano, and I think they were able to send it back. So there's some interesting developments, and this goes off the narrative. What I've been talking about, guys, is that it could be as simple. We want to keep it simple, right? What chains are going to be bullish Bitcoin DeFi and on-chain Bitcoin native, whether it be Solana, Cardano, Tron, whatever it is that going to bring up a value proposition for these chains if they have a connection with Bitcoin? Yes. If they're accumulating Bitcoin and they have Bitcoin on their reserves, then I think the chain itself could probably do well. So that's why I think Cardano and Solana are going to be high valued with how much exposure to Bitcoin they have, which is funny because it's an altcoin. But if you have exposure to Bitcoin and you have like interoperability with Bitcoin on chain, then you could have some interesting things happen. Okay, so now that I answered those questions, gave you my 2 cents on that. This is what I want to look at for the Solana chart. So the Solana chart here has now this is, it's a little tricky because you could look at this and say, oh, it's a cup and handle and we could break out, but this cup has a massive crack in it. You can see here this massive crack in the cup was for a specific reason. This was the FTX capitulation. So actually, this happened because of FTX. It was heavily leveraged with FTX during this time, and it dropped. I mean, it just hit the floor. People were thinking that Solana was dead. It was not coming back. Like it was. I mean, just imagine though, because you got to think about where the price was in 2021. It was at 246, and then now it's back. Now it's down to $8. You would think too, it's dead. It's done. And the timeline was telling you the whole time, yeah, don't invest in Solana because you're going to lose all your money. And sure enough, came back, proved itself, and then made a 2,000% return. So if you're wondering how some of these Solana bros had so much damn Solana, is because they were able to ignore the noise and say, well, I'm just gonna buy this up and just maybe buy. I mean, look, imagine getting Solana at $8. You literally could have picked up like multiples of Solana, and we were convinced otherwise. And so if you look at this on a bigger scale, a macro scale, a weekly scale, I think we're probably still going to see more returns on Solana than we would on SUI from the levels that we're at now. And why? Because you think, okay, if we break out from the cup and handle pattern, which looks like we could be doing this, we got a 428% move to the upside with that target. So, and look at the MACD setup here. Look at the MACD on the weekly. We got a bullish cross. We got the histogram going green, and we're looking like we're about to just blast off to the races. And just to remind you guys that Solana is one of the only cryptos that has a CME futures along with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Another catalyst to solidify that money is going to be flowing into Solana. That could bring it into those levels. And excuse me, guys. I'm still getting over being sick, so my voice probably just sounds kind of and if I cough or sneeze or sniffle here and there, I do apologize. Oh, but I'm super happy you guys are here. Make sure you hit the like button. There's 7 people in here and there's 4 likes. That means the ratio to watchers, viewers, and likes is off. So we need to fix that. Let's fix that. Let's get those up. Make sure that it's really easy to do it too. You just take your thumb and you hit the like button. And then if you're watching on the TV, you hit up, right, select. It's the left, right, uppercut punch combo that hits the like button on the TV. So make sure you do that. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of what we think Bitcoin could be doing here in the short term. So for dominance peaked on the weekly at 65%, and now it's trending back down. We've mentioned that once we go below, and this is what's interesting, is that once we go below the 200-day moving average of the Bitcoin dominance, I think we're going to be trading under 58 to 56% of Bitcoin dominance because of the nature of what we're seeing inflow back into Ethereum. Now on the weekly chart, the weekly chart for Ethereum is looking really, really bullish as well. You can see that the RSI is looking like it wants to come and peak up right in here in this level. We have the MACD looking really good. We got a cross here. And the last time we had a bullish a bullish cross like that, we saw a really nice move to the upside. And even though, and what's cool about this is that the setup here, in terms of just looking at the MACD, when we had this bottom and run, we went up 164% up into, and this, you got to remember, last year in March was like our little pre-teaser altcoin season. We had like a little teaser of an altcoin season. That was when we've explained like Floki, Pepe, Doge, a lot of coins started flying. Brett was one of them, like really started to do some multiples when Ethereum finally hit that bottom point and started to go. And so if you look at the MACD here, doesn't this look even better? Down here, we got that cross, and then also could just build up that momentum. We can see it. It's already building that momentum up, and we're starting to trade back into some key support levels. Right here, we got support here at 25, 26, 2600. And so the multiples that I think we could be hitting here, we got the levels marked. We're going to hit 3,300, 3,600. We might hit some resistance at these points, but these are key levels that we need to break through, 4,100. And then the all-time high for Ethereum back in 2021 was in November. So November was that peak point where altcoins were flying. And if you didn't take profits or get out fast, then, you like we explained with Cardano, you ended up round tripping. So this could be a lesson in questions that people always ask. Well, when do I take profits? When do I buy? When do I sell? And you could just follow Ethereum in the ETH BTC chart as a metric to when you could start shaving off some profits, Because at this point, I still think, this is just my personal opinion, I mean, you could agree with me or not, but I think we still obviously have a lot more room to grow with the whole market. The total cryptocurrency market cap, in terms of where we were in the previous levels, you can see here we use this metric. We love the crypto market trend line, market cap trend line, because when we traded under fair value and then started to run in the 2017 run, we made it to the upper band. The only reason why we didn't make it to the upper band here is because we got rug pulled. We had all the capitulations of the exchanges. We had capitulation across the board. Celebrities were, getting sued or trying to sue FTX for for all kinds of reasons that I'm sure you guys are aware of. But then now we've traded under this fair value band for a lot longer, super overextended than what we did in, say, between 2015 and 2017 in the mid, April 2017. But what's interesting is that once we traded above the fair value in April, look at what's happening here. We could see the same damn thing happen and mimic what happened in 2017 and happen pretty similar to 2025. So when I'm meaning keep it simple, we could keep it as simple as this. Comparison of previous bull run post-halving years, 2017 and in 2021. We could be seeing very similar April, May, June, July, and August runs. And then you can see here in September is when it kind of cooled off. Okay. So that's where I'm getting my thesis of where Bitcoin could be headed here. And it lines up with the Wyckoff accumulation that's happening. You can see the Wyckoff accumulation happening. Let me get this. We got an inverse head and shoulders Wyckoff accumulation where we have the Fibonacci retracement at the 618 happening here at 131,000 per Bitcoin. Next one being 166. Then we start getting into the races here. But we have to break through that initial resistance. And the fact that we're holding pretty strong over 100K and the bears didn't have control over 100K, the 100K resistance and the $99,000 resistance, that's old news now. That is like old resistance, and now we've turned it into support, because if you think about it, it bounced off of 100 instead of going below it, because then that would have mean that the bears are in control. We're going to go back down into 95. We're going to go back blah, blah, blah. We're going to go into those levels again. But I mean, look, you can see where we chop. It's hard to see it on the weekly, but you can just see now. I think we still have a lot more room to grow, guys. I think we still have a lot more room to grow. So don't get worried. Don't overcomplicate it, and just try and keep it as simple as possible. Trade less. Trade less and just like wait and, just chill for a little bit, because I'm going off of my own personal experience to hopefully help you guys, is that when I've jumped around, tried to trade too much, or let the crypto Twitter timeline convince me that I need to pay attention to this, or I need to pay attention to that, or just like all over the place, scattered, you are going to fail. You're going to fail. You might get a run here too. You might get a win here and there. But because you're going to be in this gambler kind of like, casino mentality, you're not going to have a steady plan of accumulation. You're not going to think about, when should I start to scale back a little bit? You're not going to even think about that. You're just going to be like, look, what's my next 100x? What's the next daily runner? And I'm just going to be honest with you, is that you have a very small chance of winning in that environment. Not to say that you can't, because obviously, people do, but it's a small percentage. And the crypto timeline will make you think that everyone's winning. It should be easy, right? No, it's false. It's a false sense of reality, and it's called extraction. It's called attention, economy, and extracting. So, at the end of the day, the biggest wealth is made in the waiting. It's made in the waiting, and it's boring. It sucks. It's just like it's not fun. It's not fun to just DCA, hodl, and wait, because it means you're not participating in the trench. You're not in the trench with everyone. You don't have to be in the trench with everyone. Just because those people are getting distracted and they don't know how to make a plan doesn't mean that you need to be in that same situation. You can have a flushed out plan that might have a little bit of trading in there, might have a little bit of exposure into the trench, but really, you got like 10 coins that you're focusing on, and you're doubling down. You're focusing on those 10 coins, and that's it. It can be that simple. And where you learn from people that were in the cycles previously in 2017 and the one after it, or maybe even the one before it, and they're still here, I bet your ass they would tell you, I should have just accumulated more Bitcoin and had less exposure into altcoins. Everyone always says it. Every single time. Are we going to learn from their mistakes? Or are we going to keep repeating the same shit? No, we're not going to. I've seen it in my own portfolio where if I just had held Bitcoin and not sold it at certain times, I would have more money in crypto. 100%. You have to realize that you have so much against you to try and time or trade the market. So you don't really want to over trade or overcomplicate it. We have to have patience. That's the biggest thing that we could have in crypto is the patience, because I get it. We're swinging 30%, 40%, down 50%. A regular a stock market trader has it's like this is like a whole nother freaking dimension of price action. That's why when retail first comes in and they buy Bitcoin and they're like, yeah, I'll buy $100 of Bitcoin, and then it goes down 20% and they're like, what did you just tell me to buy? They start freaking out, especially the altcoins. Oh, you told your friend to buy some, whatever, some coin. It's whatever it is, and then they come to you and they're like, bro, I'm down like 80%. What the did you just tell me to buy? Oh man, that's why I always encourage anyone who comes to me and wants to kind of get into crypto. I don't even mention altcoins. I don't even say there's an altcoin. I don't even tell them about altcoins at all, because it's just going to distract them. It's going to make them more or less not even want to be in crypto for more than a few months, because if then they can't handle the swings. So the word of advice, if you want to onboard people into crypto, explain to them that Bitcoin is a limited supply, the money can be printed infinitely, and Bitcoin is a store of value in digital cyberspace. And they can learn the volatility of Bitcoin. It's not going to be as volatile as the altcoins, and then they can get used to that. They can get used to the volatility. That's how you can keep people in the markets, is you have to get acclimated to the volatility. The volatility is actually a feature. It's not a bug, and it's not something that we don't want, because we don't want it to be a dead chart. Jack Mallers makes a perfect example, an analogy of like, if I went into, if I had no heart rate, if I had no like action and volatility in my heart rate, I would just be dead. I'd just be a corpse. So we want volatility. The volatility is good. All right, so we're checking the chat. What kind of tattoo do you have on your forearm? We'll have 2 tattoos on my forearms. I have a alchemy index here. It's kind of like an esoteric representation of the 4 primary elements, and circling the square, squaring the circle, the body, the temple, the spirit. That's what this is. Then this is from the 5th element, which is also the primary 4 elements. So both of my tattoos have similar meanings and some connections to them. No, it's not the ETH logo. I'm not that bullish on Ethereum. I'm not that bullish on Ethereum. I don't think I'm bullish on any crypto to get a tattoo. Maybe a Bitcoin tattoo. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a Bitcoin tattoo. I'll get it on my ankle. I'll get a Bitcoin logo on my ankle. But yeah, it's I've just noticed that in my own particular journey, man, don't overtrade. Keep it simple. Have a pretty 60%, 70% allocation to Bitcoin. Leave the rest for speculation in altcoins. Have some stables. When you take profits, you don't always want to take profits directly into the native asset, because if it's pumping, your altcoin's pumping. Okay, for instance, say Pepe and ticker Bitcoin fly to new all-time highs, okay? And this is partly because ETH is at close to all-time highs. You take profits out of Pepe into ETH at their all-time highs, and then ETH goes down 10, 15%. You just shaved off 20% right off the drop. But if you would have just waited a little bit and put it into a stable coin, then you're obviously, then you actually did the right thing. You stabled in, wait a little bit, let the market cool off, see where it's going, and then you can make an educated decision of where you could potentially put those stables. But this is where people have gotten burned really bad. Well, I'm saying stables. Yeah, USDC is a stable. USDT, USDC, mostly you got USDT is also a pretty good play whenever you think about taking profits. You're taking profits into USDT. USDT is the de facto stable coin for liquidity and futures trading and just pairs on exchanges. So this could also, and USDC is there too, but just a fact. I mean, USDT is definitely like kind of the de facto, futures trading stable coin in terms of market cap. I mean, USDC is getting there for sure. Oh, well, actually, now we can bring it into some of the news. All right, so let's go into some of the breaking news that has happened. Speaking of USDC, which is by Circle, which is also per Coinbase, and Coinbase is stable coin, but issued by Circle. Coinbase is now one of the first crypto companies. Where is Jason Casper pumping? Oh my gosh. I'm like, what is going on? What the heck? We got hold on.
Here we go, baby. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump.
He's gonna dump. Then we're gonna pump.
We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump.
Shout out to Jason Casper. All right, so Coinbase. Let's go to Coinbase. We had the dang tweet up. I don't know what happened to it. All right. Welcome to the S&P 500. This is a big deal. So the S&P 500 is arguably the most tracked and influential index in the world, is a 401k cornerstone and a magnet for institutional capital. It's a great day for Coinbase and their customers and their employees and the retail institutional investors. Thank you all for your hard work and support to get us here. All right, so this is pretty crazy. That Coinbase with their because you got to remember, Coinbase is the only crypto company on the stock market that has a publicly traded stock. Kraken doesn't have one. Crypto.com doesn't have one. Gemini. I mean, think of all the big, American-based crypto companies that are exchanges don't have a publicly traded stock. So Coin has always been in that realm of speculation for where we think it could go. Let's look at Coin. Coinbase Global Inc. On Pith. I don't want to look at. I guess we could look at that. Okay. This is pretty wild. So, I mean, look at this. Look at the weekly chart on the coin stock, man. And this is trading very. Oh, I want to compare this to Tesla. That's what I'd like to do. I want to compare it to the Tesla chart because Tesla's trading at around the same price. I think Tesla's trading around that same price. Oh no, I don't want. No, that's wrong. Where's Tesla? No, not crypto. What the heck? Tesla stock. Tesla stock. There we go. Isn't it trading around the same? Oh, it's like around the same price. This is really interesting. What the heck? Have you seen this? Have you compared the coin to Tesla? Whoa. I have no exposure into the stock market. I'm a degen. I'm fully in crypto. I'm all in on crypto. Excuse me. I'm all in on crypto. But I've been thinking to myself, I wonder. I wonder should we be investing in Tesla right now and coin and MicroStrategy, having a little bit of exposure into the stock market? I don't know. We've thought about it. I mean, the ones that are we track is MicroStrategy, Nvidia, Tesla. We do need to track obviously coin as well, and Robinhood. Robinhood is on track to purchase Bitcoin. I think they're going to be another company that is going to be doing kind of a strategy, a Bitcoin strategic reserve for their company as well. And then also, GameStop hasn't announced that they've bought any Bitcoin yet, which is fascinating. But you guys got to remember, this was a big narrative a couple weeks ago where GameStop was like, yeah, we're gonna be buying some Bitcoin. We're gonna buy a lot of Bitcoin. And there's really no other major news that's happened with GME. And you can see here, compared to, let's take that off. It's sitting at $28. I mean, that's also super cheap too. I mean, we've seen what kind of rallies we've seen on GME, but the thing with GME in the stock market is that it's freaking rigged, bros. So they stop the sell button, they do all these weird things, and that's why we like crypto. That's why we like Bitcoin. That's why we like the 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 degeneracy of cryptocurrency. Because you can't on some of these decentralized platforms, and whenever you're trading, they can't stop the flow of liquidity and the buy and sell button on a lot of these. There's so much going on, but when it's the stock market, it's pretty easy for them to manipulate it. And we saw that in real time whilst the GME run was happening in the short squeeze on GME, and they were like, yeah, we're not gonna let that happen. And so they ended up favoring the big money instead of the small fries that were trying to get a little piece of the pie. And they said no. And Robinhood, I made a comment on one of their posts. I said, yeah, that's all great and all, but but you should probably not stop the sell button from working the next time you get. Oh yeah, they said we've got crypto too, and this was 23 hours ago. And I said that's cool, but where's my reply? Where am I at? I said you have crypto, that's cool, but I said you gotta make sure that the buy and sell buttons actually work. So when people are in profit, you gotta actually make sure that we can actually sell it. Because remember, Dogecoin was ripping, and Robinhood stopped the sell button. You couldn't sell. You know why? Is because they didn't have enough liquidity and actual cryptocurrency than what was able to then pay out. So what do you do then, Robinhood? Well, you buy more crypto. You bust up your reserves. Your proof of reserves need to be, look, you got Pepe, you got Dogecoin now, you got all these cryptos, you got Bitcoin, ETH, you got all this stuff. So you better be buying the crap out of our bags, Robinhood. I don't care if you got crypto, unless you're buying the shit out of it. So, and you're not going to stop the sell button. So, thank you, Robinhood, for being bullish on crypto, but don't do what you did to us in 2021. Don't do it again. Talking directly to you, Robinhood. We're super grateful. You can send and receive crypto out like a digital wallet, all that stuff. That's great. But damn it, you better start actually buying the crypto. What are you going to do? What are you using your revenue for? Use your revenue that you're generating and the fees and buy more crypto. That's all we got to say. All right. Any other bullish things? Oh, yeah. Jim Cramer says, banks are the safest place to store your wealth. Absolutely not. The best place to store your wealth is on a blockchain that is decentralized and you have control over it. That's the best way to store your wealth. 100%. 100%. Best way to store your wealth, probably in Bitcoin. We've had 13, 16 years to prove that. The banks, when you put your money in the bank, it's not your money anymore. It's the bank's money. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you as a disclaimer when you go and deposit $1,000 or however much in your bank account. They don't tell you, oh, by the way, it's not your money anymore. It's ours because it's in our hands now. It's our money. And we can lend out 100% of what you put in to other people so then we can make money on it. And then guess what? You don't get any piece of it. Ha! So, no, banks are not the safest place to store your money. And the fact that Jim Cramer said that, exit all banks immediately right now. Get out. Oh, my God. Bank run immediately. You guys remember Bank of America? And the fact that he said Bank of America, and I hope he didn't specifically say Bank of America because that would be even more hilarious and ironic because Bank of America was one of the banks, if you remember, 2 years ago, people were trying to get their money out and they couldn't. And their balances were not correct. People that had $10,000 in their bank account or whatever, it was like saying that they only had 1,000. They were like, what the fuck? What the hell? And they just go into Bank of America trying to solve it. And they were like, it was like a catastrophe. They swept that crap under the rug real fast, though. And say, oh, keep putting your money in the banks. Keep putting it in the banks. It's safe. Bunch of BS. Bunch of crap. So, that's an interesting development. But yep, another one. Coinbase just became the first and only crypto company to join the S&P 500. Amazing. And then this is huge. I am actually really stoked that we are getting our relationships with the Saudis and Middle Eastern countries like squashed. We are like trying to make some deals. Trump has even said it publicly. He's like, you guys don't understand. These got a lot of money. That's how he would say it. They got a lot of money. They gave us a free plane. They gave us a plane to replace our 40-year-old hunk of metal of Air Force One. They want to play nice with the United States, okay? And there's a lot of money in Qatar, in the Saudis, Saudi Arabia. It's crazy. So just in Saudi Arabia to invest $600 billion in the United States. So let's go. Let's go. We want the money. We want the money. So Trump is making deals. Trump is making deals. If you're not happy with the way that Trump is operating right now, with the way he is sealing the deals, what will make you happy? Are you just that person that you'll just never be happy? I'll never be happy. I don't want you guys to stay poor. All right. This is also another reminder that you definitely don't want to travel to other countries and tell people where you're going, flex and stuff, and do all that stuff. Yeah, because there has been some really shady stuff happening, especially in Paris. Paris, if you are in crypto, Paris ain't for you. And obviously it wasn't for the Telegram CEO either. Telegram founder, he got ambushed in Paris, and people are literally getting abducted and ransomed in Paris. Don't go there. Don't go there. Literally don't go there. So yeah, let's just, as a friendly reminder, it's usually best practice to just keep yourself as concealed as possible. A lot of the times it's, if you're a content creator, I mean it's kind of inevitable. I mean, you see my freaking face, but you just have to have some risk management. Part of the whole risk management strategy, it's not just about, how to keep your crypto safe. It's about how to keep yourself safe as well. So don't do anything stupid. And just make sure that you're not like meeting up with people that you actually don't really know, or getting yourself into some situations where you're alone somewhere and somehow someone found out where you are and they know you have a bunch of ticker Bitcoin or something like that. It's not good. Controversial take. Windio said you should own your primary residence free and clear before making significant investments in other assets. I don't buy that. Most people rent, and if you're going to get skin in the game, you can't wait until, now I own my stuff free and clear. Now let me invest. And you just missed 2, 3, 4 years of a run. If you invest, you can make gains to then buy a property over time. What are you talking about, Windio? What the hell are you talking about? You're telling me I should spend my next couple years not investing at all and just acquiring a property? That's dumb as hell. That is a controversial take because I do not agree. I'm on more of the side that, like, if you have debt and you also have all these things, you gotta just get skin in the game, baby. Like, if I were to be like, let me pay off all my debt and then I'll invest, Bitcoin's gonna be at a fucking $1 million by then. What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? If you invest, you make gains, and then you use those gains to then pay your debt and then buy a property. Why do people say dumb shit? I don't know. This is why you can't be on the timeline too much, because you'll end up thinking Ansem and Windio and all these freaking people are smart, but they're really just doing that. I just gave my chin a Charlie horse by literally doing that. I just gave my chin a Charlie horse. I about just locked up my damn chin trying to make that face. Oh, God. We're having too much fun. Oh, we're having too much fun. And I swear to holy crypto gods, if I click on this live stream and I am not over 10 likes by now, I've been streaming for an hour, and if I'm not past 10 likes, I'm gonna freaking scream. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's what I like to see. People hitting the damn like button. You guys should appreciate my energy. You should appreciate my ADHD, ADD, freaking explosion on these live streams. It is not appreciated enough. But I love you all. I love you very much. Love you all. And I really love that we got the OGs in here. We got the shit. We got Shibman, who was Batman. He should be called Bitcoin Man, because I think we finally convinced Shibman to buy some Bitcoin. Hopefully, no. I sorry. So Ponky, I fully got out of it. You know why? Because I'm focusing on specific memes. Pepe, ticker Bitcoin, easy. I like I said, I want to keep it simple. I gotta make a choice. We don't have unlimited liquidity. I want to keep it pretty damn simple. It's just. I could buy Ponky now. I probably could still buy some Ponky and do well with it, but I'd rather just buy ticker Bitcoin. That's just me. Headband. That's my personal opinion. It doesn't mean I don't like Ponky. I think Ponky still probably it has a good chance. Has a good chance. It follows Solana pretty well. But yeah, we've just made the choice. We really made the choice. We said, all this jumping around, all this, this and that, all this, that, blah, 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 blah. We're not doing it anymore. We're keeping it pretty damn simple. It's very simple, my portfolio. Doesn't have to be yours. But my portfolio is very simple. I'm holding the strongest damn memes on Ethereum. I'm going to buy Solana, but I'm probably not going to buy too many Solana memes. I just want to hold Solana. I might get a little exposure, but I don't know. You could say I'm freaking crazy, or you could say, oh, he's finally focusing on what he knows. He's finally focusing on what he knows and not getting distracted. That's a skill in its own right there. That's a skill in its own. It's finally going, am I going to make a choice here? Am I just going to keep flopping, groping, flipping, flopping, flip, flop? Oh, this, that, bop, 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 bop. No, I'm going to freaking just go with what I freaking know, guys. Here it is. Bitcoin, ticker Bitcoin, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Teninu, Pepe, XYO, Ethereum, Crow token. By the way, the Saudis and UAE heavily invested in Crow token and also the United States. Crypto.com is going to blow up. Hey, I know about Crypto.com. I have a little bit of exposure. This is what I like to buy. Dogecoin, one of the endgame tokens along with ticker Bitcoin. I think Doge is going to surpass $1 and maybe even become one of the payment systems for the whole world. The endgame. That was always Doge's plan. Solana, Polygon ecosystem, Zeus. But even then, I might even keep it as super freaking simple as these tokens right here. Just those. That's it. I don't need to like make it so complicated. That's the whole point of this live stream. Keep it simple. What do you know? We have to keep it simple. But since Headband mentioned Ponky, we will pull the trade up. We'll pull it up. So Ponky, if you compare it with Solana, and see that it doesn't, like, you can have a completely separate portfolio, 100%. That's totally fine. That's why there's so many damn cryptos. But this is just for me personally, this is how I want to keep it simple and operate. And I just want to make sure that I have primarily more Bitcoin than everything else. From the conversation that we had earlier today of that's usually what all the people from the past cycles learned. They said, damn, if I would have just bought more Bitcoin and held it, I would have done a lot better. All right. Yeah, do this. Okay. So as you can see here with the green line, this green line, that's Solana compared to Ponky. And this is on the weekly chart. Oh, and sorry, Baggy, yes. I forgot to mention that I'm also very interested in the Pulse Chain ecosystem as well. I don't have as much skin in the game as I would like in the Pulse Chain ecosystem, but that is going to change. Because I think right now, with all the bullish lead-ups, Richard Hart beating the SEC, like actually beating them, not it being like dismissed or dropped or whatever, like no, actually beating them in court, which no other cryptocurrency company has been able to do. All the others were just dropped. That like Richard Hart's and with his Hex, Pulse Chain, all that actually beat the SEC. Then there's some rumors going around and some breadcrumbs that Binance might be listing Pulse Chain and PulseX. At least just those two tokens first. That they would be listing PulseX and Pulse Chain. It's looking like it might be coming down the pipe. Now, what will that do? Well, it's going to get eyes into this ecosystem in a different type of way than what has been around on the crypto Twitter timeline. You go on the crypto Twitter timeline and you will get convinced that the hexagons and the people that are in Pulse Chain are stupid and that they're getting extracted and you're going to lose all your money and blah, 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 blah. All the while, you got all of these other different bullish factors that are kind of saying otherwise. It's people that are very impatient. Those people that say stuff like that, they're the ones that don't have conviction. They don't have patience. They're gamblers. They're the ones that are unable to hold. They're the ones that would sell Bitcoin because they think it's over and then it goes up another $5,000, $10,000, and then they buy back again. That's those people. So do you want to listen to those people, or do you want to listen to your own research? Listen to your own research. But let's get back into this. So what's interesting is, there are some memes on Solana that do follow Solana's price pretty well. And one of them is Ponky. You can kind of see, and it kind of just, I don't know. But the thing is like it didn't really perform super well right here. It was kind of just bleh. I mean, it did a nice little bit of a pump, but then it's just been like boop. But if we can trade above the 200-day moving average and keep the momentum, then we could see a interesting pop to that $2.50. So why 250? Why 250? Okay. If you look at Ponky on the DEX, let's see. Ponky on the DEX. And to be honest, I think a lot of Ponky holders capitulated and went into Mooding, Peanut, PopCap, Fartcoin, the Trump coin. I think a lot of people lost confidence in Ponky whilst all the other things were kind of taking market share. That's just kind of what happened. And also, I don't know why they changed the logo. Like, did they change the logo? Because it's just like nowhere to be found on here. Where did it go? Okay, they didn't change the logo on here. That was just on TradingView. Okay, so market cap 120 mil, liquidity 5.2. What I do like about Ponky is that they do have the liquidity locked, so that's good. They got the liquidity locked. But look at this wick. Look at the wick to 250. We had this crazy wick that happened in November 2024. We did this insane wick up to $1. We did this little wick. It was like a test wick up to $1, and then since then, it's just been like beat down. I wonder what that was. It was like a liquidity spike, and then we had someone have like a sell limit order or something right at $1, took it, and then since then the chart's been just fully down. So now from its point now to get to where it basically peaked at the bottom of the wick would be at 75 cents. 241% move to the upside. So in terms of liquidity locked and kind of what we've seen here, Pocket could still do well. Now, what's taking market share? Well, you guys know. It's Trump coin, Fartcoin, PopCap, Mooding. We got Goat. These things are starting to, they took a lot of market share. Now, Test Griffin, that was another one that, with the AI narrative, had a nice run, but then once it got listed on the exchanges, they shorted it to the freaking ground. They shorted the shit out of this thing to the ground. Down basically 100% or more. So this could be another Solana play if you're trying to go into different. So meme narrative, AI narrative. These were the two tokens that I was watching for Solana. Okay. Let's see where Bitcoin's at. And then I think we're going to end the live stream because my voice is starting to just Oh, Bitcoin's pumping. Bitcoin's pumping. It's gonna dump. Then we're gonna pop. It's gonna dump. So let's go into the Coinbase chart. Let's look at the Coinbase chart. Okay. Oh, nice. We're getting some traction, baby. Look at the Bitcoin on the 5-minute. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. We need the pump song now. Let's go. All right, we're getting the pump song on. Let's go. The pump song is coming. Who's ready for the pump song? Well, there's only... I don't know how many people are watching. Let's go. What the hell? Was I not streaming to X? What in the hell? Oh my god. This whole time I wasn't streaming onto X. I clicked this damn button and it didn't go. Oh, that's so lame. All right. It's gonna dump, then we're gonna pop. It's gonna dump, then we're gonna pop. It's gonna dump, then we're gonna pop. Pop the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. All right. Looking pretty decent. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, we're back over 1,000. We're currently doing a challenge right now for ourselves, and the challenge is that we are going to get our OURBIT account to $10,000. Right now, we're at 1,024. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that I can get this account to $10,000. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to keep these trades open. Hopefully we continue the trend. The trend is your friend until the end, and I don't think it's ended yet. So we still have a good trend to trade off of, and we have some pretty basic trades in. We got the ETH trade, we got the Pepe trade, the Bitcoin trade, and then kind of an outlier trade here, Walrus, which I'm kind of betting that Walrus just pumps like crazy off of Sui pumping. Now, you could kind of go down the rabbit hole with Sui and say, okay, Sui pumps, then maybe the Sui memes will pump. But if you look at the highest liquidity token right now on Sui, it's the Walrus token. So this is where I think if we get, the $10 Sui, we're going to get like a $2, we're going to get like a $2 Walrus. So this is why I have this particular trade open. And then also why I have a Pepe trade open, because then when we get the ETH run, Pepe and the strong, it will trade strong because of the nature of the liquidity. Emmanuel said, "You have done this before, this challenge. Keep it up." Yes, I know. I have. I have done this 2 times where I've gotten an account from $1,000 and lower too. Actually, I did this with my Mexi. So I did this with an account where I started with like $100 and I got it to 10K. But the difference of back then and now is that I've learned so many damn lessons. I've really have made enough mistakes now and realized that back then I didn't know what I had. I almost didn't realize what I did. I didn't realize that what I did was hard as shit. That it's not easy to do that. And I was like, I guess I had no clue. I was just it was kind of like, I was clueless on what I actually did. I turned $100 by trading Bitcoin and just Bitcoin and Ethereum and maybe one other altcoin. And I turned it into close to $10,000. And because I didn't even realize what I even did, I thought I could just keep going. Instead, I should have been like, whoa, let me chill now. I just successfully extracted from the market. Now let me back up. Let me back up. Let me take a step back and assess myself. But when you do this, or when you do something like I did, turn $150 into $10,000, you're it's just, there's so many emotions that are going to mess it up because you're not acclimated to the environment, which is going back to the point that we made earlier. Now we're acclimated to the environment. If we're up 10K, you bet your freaking ass I'm going to take $5,000 and put it into stables. That's what I'm going to freaking do this time. I'm going to take the money and I'm going to put it in stable coins so I can pay myself and not think that I'm a genius. And that's going to continue to go. But yes, I've done this 2 different times, so I know I can do it. See, yeah, coin's pumping right now. Coin is pumping on that news. 21%. Man, 21% on coin. Man, that is crazy. So to get 21% on the stock market, man. Even got 9% on Robinhood because of their news. Pretty crazy. All right. We're testing some levels, baby. Once we break 106, basically just know that we are headed for 120,000. I think the next level would be about 112. I'd say about 112,000 once we break 109. We break 109. We turned 100K. We turned 100K into support. Look, that's called the support resistance flip. Look at all the resistance that we had at 100K. All through here. And then look at how we just turned that into support. So that means that this level is going to get completely smashed. We are going to smash that level right there, and we're going to be heading to $120,000 per Bitcoin. It's go time, baby. It's freaking go time. I hope you guys are ready and along for the ride. All right, well, I hope I've been mildly entertaining for you. And just remember, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Narrow your portfolio down to 10 coins. You don't need 17 plays. You don't need 18 plays. You don't need to be in every single ecosystem. Research on what you know, what you like, what you understand. That's your edge. That's how you get an edge. You then did the research. You then now can explain to someone why you bought the coin. You don't just, oh, I bought it because crypto Twitter timeline told me to. I bought this coin because Ansem posted a post. No, you research and you just got, I am buying this coin because this, and you have an actual freaking thesis, a plan, a strategy. You have an idea, at least, where you think you might want to start shaving off profits. You have areas where you're like, these are good accumulation areas. I'm gonna keep DCAing. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, and you will win. Keep it simple, and you will be successful in crypto. Please take this advice. It's not financial advice. It's just advice to keep it simple. Truly, truly keep it simple. Because the moment where, say, you have $5,000 to invest and you spread that $5,000 over 20 different coins, you're probably better off spreading that $5,000 into 5 coins that you understand more than the 20 random things that you're trying to get into. And it's easy to do because the market has millions of coins. There's 15 million cryptos. Your job is to narrow that down to 10. Your job is to narrow all the noise into 10 coins and stick with it. Doesn't mean you're going to be right 100%. You might be wrong. And then that's when you adjust and you learn. But you have to just do it. Because if you just keep waiting, or, oh, maybe the perfect entry, or, this blah, blah, blah. Stop it. Just stop. You're wasting your time. Just get skin in the game. It's just like the analogy we used the other day. It's like people that are demoing or think they could just keep like demoing their stuff and then not actually go and do it. It's like doing kickflips or skating on Tony Hawk Pro Skater and then you think because you did enough kickflips on Tony Hawk Pro Skater that you can go out and do a real kickflip on flat ground in real life. Not gonna happen. You're gonna bust your ankle. You're gonna fall. Then you'll land the kickflip. But it's not. You're not gonna understand the mechanisms of how the kickflip is done unless you do it. Unless you pop and slide that foot up, boom, and hit it right on the concave on the concave. And then you understand the mechanisms. It's just like trading. It's just like investing. Oh, portfolio just fluctuated down 50%. Ouchie. Good. You need to feel that volatility. You think you can be completely not involved in the volatility of crypto? Good luck. Good luck. It's a prerequisite. It's just like how we explain with like people that want to trade demo accounts and then they get this false sense of security and think they're a genius. Like, oh, I've been hitting all my demo trades. Now let me hit the market. And it's like, okay, bro, like, do you think the demo account's going to translate exactly to what your real trades are when you're using your real money? Good luck, my friend. You're going to need to feel the sting. Just like everyone else. You got to feel the sting just like everyone else. No one comes into crypto without getting a couple of black eyes. All right, but what would be cool if the 10 people that are watching right now, if you haven't hit the like button yet, that would be cool because then we can get to 20 likes. I don't know what to talk about anymore. We've been streaming for almost 2 hours, so I think I've ran out of things to rant and talk about. Oh. Yeah, I think we can get this account. We can get this account up to 10K for sure. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. We can do it. I know we can do it. So Pepe, here's the deal. So Pepe, where unrealized profits 170. If we go to all-time highs, which I think Pepe is a very, very easy contender to go back to its all-time highs. It's Pepe. It's one of the strongest traded meme coins in the entire space right now. We go back to all-time high right here. The percentage gains is 1,500. So that's 1,500. And then, so 1,500 all-time highs. Bitcoin goes to all-time highs, which was so close, guys. I mean, man. So we get Bitcoin going to all-time highs. That would be a gain of, I think this one was like 200 to 300. Oh, really? 78? Oh, that's pretty low. Okay, so yeah, 78. And then for ETH, if ETH goes back, I think this was the one where if ETH goes back to all-time highs or very close to it, then we would be in profit 232. Okay, so we're getting there. So we'd be up close to 5,000 once we start getting back to all-time highs. And then what we were speculating for like we said, for the walrus trade, this one, if we go to $1, then we'd be at 179 in profit, or if it goes to 2, we'd be at 628 around there. So all these trades, if they get into kind of their max profit all-time high territories, we would be around $3,000 to $4,000, or it's about $3,000 in profit, and then that would be at least getting us fairly close. But this is just to say, if we just kept just these 4 trades open, and also if we hedged into them a little bit more with some more margin, with these particular profits. So like, say you got a trade out, say, like if, for instance, it would have been a good opportunity right here to scale in on the trade for Bitcoin because it dropped right at 100. So you scale in, and then by scaling in on those dips like that, that's a nice 3% move. So you could do this, and this is actually how I was able to get one of those accounts that I mentioned to $10,000, is because every time it went up, I took profits at resistance levels, and then I went back in on support. And I wasn't like perfect every time, but I was very aggressive with it. And with that being very aggressive in that hedging in your own trades, I was able to swing long Bitcoin from 30K, 35K up to like 60K or something like that, or even more. Or it was like up from 35 to, I don't know, it was like 45 or 50. And this was, I was able to just kind of keep the trades healthy, taking the profits, going in, and this is how I was able to extract as much as I could from the trades. Some people don't like trading like that. Some people actually like they put in the entry, they take profits full trade out on resistance, and then they go back in where they see support. That's also a good strategy too. The problem with that is that you could potentially lose your really nice average entry price that you had. So that's why I suggest sometimes if you're in these trades like this, you when you're up, you take 50% off like, you know, it's pumping. Say it's like up, you know, it's up 200%. You shave off 50% of the trade because there probably gonna be some pullbacks, and then on those pullbacks you can take those profits and go back in. Now, it's not 100% guaranteed that it can work, because then, okay, say you went back in and you thought that was support. Now it's breaking through. Now it's breaking down through support, and now it's resistance, and it's going lower than what you just entered back in. That can make your trade kind of dicey as well. So that's where the risk management comes in. You kind of have to adjust your stop losses. You have to adjust, you know, where your take profits are, and that's how you can, you know, weave with the volatility of the market. That's what I've noticed over time with my trades, is that if I can just follow those rules, you can do really well. I hope that helps. Someone said I should do the Dano baby. Guys, people don't even want to listen to me as I am right now. You think they want to listen to an AI baby version of me? Lord Jesus. I'm already having a hard time just getting people just to watch the channel as it is. It's hard out here in these streets. I can't believe I didn't freaking start streaming to X. What is my problem? I clicked this freaking button and it didn't go. Some BS. Ugh. What the heck? Yeah, we don't need baby Dano. I already have been enough of a baby on on my stream sometimes. We don't need an actual baby Dano. It's hilarious. I put on one of my videos on the TV in the living room, and my wife was like, "I already hear you enough. I don't need you on the screen as well." And I was like, "Well, I just need your opinion on this breakdown of Ethereum. Do you think I did well?" And she was like, "It's too much. I can't take." She's like, "I can't take it. I got you here. You're on the screen." And then what was even better was that in that same video, I pulled up a video of me talking, and she was like, "Ah!" It was like a silent scream. In crypto, no one can hear you scream. But I at least have a good sense of humor on myself. I am able to make fun of myself, which helps if people are rude or they make fun of me or they don't like the way that I break down the markets or they want me to mold to exactly how they want me to be. And I'm like, yeah, no thanks. I'm like, if I took everyone's advice and tried to be like a pivot on every single, you know, observation from people, then I wouldn't have my own channel. It wouldn't be me. You watch crypto for, yeah, you get the alpha, whatever, but you're watching crypto because you're watching certain channels and listening to people because you like them. It's just, let's be honest. Like, you either like them or you don't. You either like them or you don't. They either annoy the crap out of you, you don't like how their voice is, you don't like how they look, whatever it may be, and you're not going to watch it. It's just, let's just be honest. It's more so that than the information that we're giving. If you really want to be honest, you either like me or you don't. It'd be irrelevant what I'm actually talking about. You either like how I break down stuff or you don't. But if I were to just keep, you know, listening to everyone and be like, "Oh, why? Maybe I should do that." No, I'm going to do it my way, damn it. It's my stream, it's my channel, and you take it or leave it. And I think everyone should be like that with their stuff. It's just like, at a point, like, what can I have an original live stream of my own doing? Thank you. I would love that. And it's not me being, I'm not being rude. I'm not trying to be like negative or anything. It's just facts. It's like like at a point, like I want to be me. I want to be me. I like being me. When I'm feeling it, I like it. It's kind of very, very similar to, I feel like, how I break stuff down. It's kind of like how David Goldstein breaks stuff down. And I like his attitude. I don't think he bended the knee to where everyone was like, oh. But that's just my complaint. Go to danocrypto.com if you want to get the crypto bubbles and some, almost ticker Bitcoin like, website vibes. Also, remember, guys, we do have merch. If you want to sip on a buff Doge in the morning with your morning coffee, you could do so by checking out some merch. If you're a hippie, OG hippie, but you also love Bitcoin, you could get the Bitcoin unisex tie-dye t-shirt. We gotta buy this ourselves, actually, and that's actually a good price too, $25. Ooh, I like that one too. Oh, there we go. Yeah, some of these are dope. I like that one. I like the pink. That one looks good. What I really want is the pink Buff Doge sweater. We ordered for ourselves the Buff Doge shirt, and we've worn it on stream. That one actually gets a lot of compliments. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. And we do have a link tree. Just make sure that if you guys didn't already know, we have a link tree. So if you want to check out all the necessary links, pretty simple. All right, let's get okay, if we can get this to 20 likes, that would be awesome. Let's do it. We're 2 away. Oh, and if you're watching right now, the person who signed up for OURBIT, there was one person actually signed up for OURBIT for our ticker Bitcoin competition. We were running a giveaway, and it was very simple. Just sign up with OURBIT, make a deposit of $1. I mean, you deposit however much you want, and then we're gonna send you $10 of ticker Bitcoin. So if you were that person, let me look at the. I have to go to the. Give me just a second, because then I can actually post the UID of this person. I don't know. I'll have to do it later. But yeah, if I'll do it on, I'll go on Twitter, or I'll go on X, and we'll post it on here. But I would love to send you. some ticker Bitcoin. We did not get as many people as we would have liked to do this giveaway. Yeah, let's go back. This was the giveaway that we were doing, and it was for the anniversary of the Tika. The Tika Bitcoin. It was right here. Where to go? Oh. Brittany is wild. I don't know why, but people have been like, man, this lady's crazy, but I just feel bad for her. Like, I really do. I feel bad for Britney Spears. I mean, she's just like, I don't know what kind of medication she's on, but you can see it in her eyes, like something with the eyes. I don't know, like that's the thing with the eyes. It's like you can see it in the eyes. Something's not right. Like, what is happening? Pray for Britney Spears. Because At least she's not dancing with the knives. At least she's not dancing with the knives, but woo! And I don't know if anyone else has been having this experience of GIFs literally outstretching into like doing this. Like, what is happening with this also? I don't know if this is happening with anyone else, but this is crazy. It's like some crazy like GIF like expander. I don't know why it's doing this, but it's really bad. It's like it's stretching out my GIFs. It's like a massive glitch. I don't know what the hell. Oh, and if you were wondering what Macron had on the table, it was just a Tide Pod. It wasn't a bag of Coke. It was just a Tide Pod. Where is my giveaway? Where'd it go? It was very simple. There we go. I'm running a contest. And no one signed up. One person did, but they didn't even do it at the right time. But I'll still give you $10 of the ticker. But what you have to do is you have to post in here, like on this post. We'll repost it again. We want to make sure that we send you some ticker. All right, XRP Army came in with a nice comment. Said, don't know why, but really feels like XRP is going to have one of the runs like Doge had last cycle. It's possible. We're bullish on XRP at least getting to between $5 and $7. I think $7 is fair. I think anything past 10 is outrageous. The only thing you need to understand is that it took 7 years for the damn thing to pop. And then you got all the XRP in escrow that could just be like, oh yeah, it's in escrow, but cool. They could take it out and then dump it because they need to pay for some legal fees or something. Bitcoin doesn't need to pay for legal fees. Eventually, it'll just bleed into Bitcoin just like alts do when things get bad, which it does. As you can see, when things get bad, altcoins, doesn't matter what it is, they bleed. All right, so Patrick, who looks like he's part of the XRP army, said it was suppressed by the SEC lawsuit that they just won. Case will finally be dropped and ETFs approved at some point. Could be the case. Could be the case. Let's look at XRP. We have our jokes and things about XRP, but we if you are a part of the XRP army, we want you to be successful. We don't want XRP to go to zero or like dump or anything like that. That would be crazy. But we just see the nature of how XRP is operated over these cycles, and it's like, woo, that's a dicey one. That's a dicey one, but I think it's fair to say that XRP on this breakout could hit about $4.30. I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say that XRP by, I'd say August could be at $4, $4 to $5. That's pretty fair. I think that's fair for XRP to get to that point. Now you bet your butt there's going to be some profit taken at those levels. So don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. All these altcoins, they all hit points where they're going to take some damn profits. It happened here at $3. It went all the way back down to a 51% retrace off that high. Now, this was pretty much the whole altcoin market. And you can see here, we definitely did have some opportunities to accumulate XRP all through these points. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. People say that XRP is the banker's coin. You know, it's the banker's coin. And Bitcoin is like, you know, the people's coin. It's for the people. And XRP is for the bankers. That's why there's like kind of like a sentiment split between the XRP holders and the Bitcoin holders. You know, there's too much counterparty risk when it comes to XRP. That's my only gripe, is like any altcoin is full counterparty risk. Bitcoin, even though it has the big money and the institutional adoption now, it still has less counterparty risk. You know? Brad Garlinghouse can get, or who these CEOs could all of a sudden have some information leaked that, who knows? I mean, it's anything could happen with these fucking altcoins that can make you get wrecked. And then all the while, you're like, well, son of a gun, Bitcoin's at $1 million per coin, and the altcoins have fluctuated all up and down between hundreds of percent. And all I had to do was just hold Bitcoin. Again, bringing it back to the conversation of just keeping it freaking simple. Are we at 20 likes yet? Let's go. All right. Well, we're going to end it. We've been talking way too long. But we hope you enjoyed. Thank you for coming into today's breakdown. And yeah, just make sure you use all the links in the description of the video. We'll pull it up. If you haven't watched my most recent video that I posted about Ethereum, you should check this one out. Well, my face looks way too serious right there. So yeah, check this video out. Make sure you leave a comment. Please leave a guys, at this point now I'm begging you. Can you leave a comment on my videos, please? Because I get so many spam bot account comments that it completely destroys the real comments that are actually coming in. So I need real comments coming in instead of bot fake accounts that are telling me saying, oh, AI ZXBT, blah, 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 Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Please, for the love of all that is crypto, just leave a real comment. Just please leave an actual real comment. Okay, Jason Beats did. Jason Crypto even just said thanks. And that, I mean, that's all you got to do is say thanks for the breakdown. It would be very much appreciated. I'm battling wicked algorithm right now. Again, make sure you check out the links in the description. Our favorite exchange right now is OURBIT. Across the board, everything that we've used, all the exchanges that we've used, we've made a choice. Our favorite is OURBIT. Oh, and by the way, if you are planning on going to the Bitcoin conference and you have not bought your ticket yet, can you consider buying your ticket with my offer code? So the promo code is Dano. Really easy to remember. You don't have to use my specific affiliate link, but you can at least just use the offer code Dano, and then that will show the Bitcoin peeps that you bought the ticket with my link. But here's the link. It's literally coming up in the next week or two, through the 27th through the 29th. So it's coming up really fast. And the festival pass is $600. The industry pass is $2,000. The Bitcoin week pass that has the after party bundle along with it is $800. But if you want to save some dough and get 10% off of all that, then you should definitely use my link. And it also helps directly support the channel too. So make sure you do that. You can see prices did increase. And so I don't know if they're going to keep increasing, but if they do, this would probably be a really good time to snatch up a ticket. So just a nice, friendly reminder. All right, guys. Love you all. Thank you for coming in. And we will see you on the next live stream. Peace out.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.